vision. But if you want to go to the Gospels, we can argue for the deity of Christ from the Gospels. So, for example, Jesus, over and over again, his favorite self-designation is Son of Man, right? Which is a clear reference to Daniel 7, where Daniel says, in my vision at night I looked, and there before me was one who looked like a son of man, coming in the clouds of heaven. He approached the Ancient of Days and was led into his presence. He was given authority, glory, and sovereign power. All peoples, nations, and men of every language worshipped him. His dominions that will not pass away, and his kingdom is one that will never end. So clearly he is ascribed worship to. And Jesus, of course, tells the devil in the wilderness in Matthew 4 and Luke 4, worship the Lord your God and serve him only. Mm-hmm. So if Jesus is claiming to be this divine figure who is worshipped by all people, then how can he say to the devil in the wilderness, worship the Lord your God only? Mm-hmm.
Problem. Generally, in Scripture, we don't have a commentary in the Scripture itself. We read the Scripture and we have to try to figure out what it means. Here, Daniel, who saw this vision, didn't understand what the vision meant, and he approached an angel who was present in his prophetic vision, and he asked him, can you explain this to me? And the angel explained it to him. The angel explained it very clearly. And the angel makes clear in verse 22, he explains clearly that this one like the Son of Man is referring not to one person, but to a nation. It says, until the Ancient of Days came, and judgment was given to the holy ones of the Most High. In other words, it was given to a plural entity. It wasn't given to an individual. The one, like the Son of Man coming and riding in the clouds, according to Scripture, is talking about the people of Israel. According to the missionary, it's talking about Jesus. But who are you going to believe? Are you going to believe the missionary, or are you going to believe the angel who was talking to Daniel? That's your choice.
All peoples, nations, and men of every language worshipped him. His dominions that will not pass away, and his kingdom is one that will never end. So clearly he is ascribed worship.
That all the nations will serve him. He will be the ultimate fulfillment of the Davidic dynasty. This is the final kingdom, the fifth kingdom, and this kingdom will be forever and ever. And there are some Christians who will go, what do you mean they'll worship him? It just says that they'll serve him as a human king. And you find many times in the Bible where prophets tell us that certain human kings are going to be served by all nations.
So, for example, Jesus, over and over again, his favorite self-designation is Son of Man.
Whether you're going to Ezekiel, is spoken to as the Son of Man, which means immortal.
Bruce Chilton, in an article published in Bible Review, shows that when Jesus speaks about the Son of Man, he could mean himself, or he could mean just an ordinary human being, or he could be referring to an angelic being to come in the future. But Bruce Chilton shows that when Jesus is referring to that angelic being to come in the future, he is not referring to himself. He's referring to another being apart from himself who is closely associated with Jesus. So now there's a problem. If this Son of Man is a divine being and that's not Jesus, well, then that leaves Jesus without the divine status. But moreover, this Son of Man is not a divine being, meaning co-equal with God. If you read Daniel 9, you will see that he approaches the Ancient of Days, and the Ancient of Days is undisputably God.
You have here one who's described who's like a Son of Man who's coming with the clouds of heaven. Now, what is he doing coming with the clouds of heaven? And he's coming to the Ancient of Days. Now, the Ancient of Days is God. The Ancient of Days is God. So it's very clear that the son of this one who is like a Son of Man is not God, because the one who is like a Son of Man is coming to God.
But we have Numbers chapter 23, verse 19, which says that God is not the Son of Man. So therefore, he's not God if he's the Son of Man. And Job chapter 25, verse number 6 says, what is the Son of Man but a maggot?
Another point that is important to realize over here is that the concept of the Trinity only came up after Christians already accepted the deity of Jesus. It was an effort, a philosophical effort to justify something they believed already, an absurdity they believed already. To believe a man is God, they had to come up with an idea of the Trinity. It wasn't that they first came up with the idea of the Trinity and then they said, oh, Jesus is the one that fits into the Trinity. Before Jesus came to the world, no one thought of the Trinity. So the Trinity is an excuse for idolatry.